Welcome to another
Let's Talk Tuesday.
My name is Cherry.
And I'm Tara.
And we are here on behalf of Deeper Life Gospel Center's social media team. Y'all know. And listen, today we have a very special guest with us, a frontline worker, our elder, minister, a sister, daughter, just a wonderful woman of God. And she has actually come back again. This is her second time on the show, and we're grateful. Y'all give it up for Tracy Lewis.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Hi, thank you for having me again.
Hey,
I'm really looking forward to our conversation today.
Yes, thank you for gracing us with your presence. Yeah, shout out to her clothing line, Grace Gear. That was a little, Anyway.
Yay.
That was look me trying to be anywho. Y'all, I hope everybody that's watching is doing well. Hope that you are prospering and finding a positive during this season that we're in, during this year 2020 that has been challenging, more challenging for some. And but I hope that everyone is doing well and getting through it, and just remembering that God is still good. He's still on the throne. He's still working on your behalf. So yeah. So today we are going to talk about the mark of the beast. Yes, I said it, the mark of the beast. That is what our pastor preached on. And as you know, every Tuesday we like to just talk about what he preached on Sunday, and just give our thoughts about it, and how did it affect us? How are we going to take it and use it in our everyday lives? So and just so you know, Miss Tracy Lewis is she's an elder. I know she looks about 16, but
Thank you. That's a blessing.
we got young elders at our church, so don't let the word elder fool you. So we're gonna address her as Elder Tracy. So Elder Tracy, talk to us about what did you think about Pastor's message this past Sunday?
I love the message. This is my kind of message right here, because it's full of meat. And, if you're not ready for this type of thing, then, it can terrify you. It can really scare you, especially the season that we're living in, and even this type of word. But this is where we're supposed to be right now, because people definitely need to be prepared, for what's ahead. And so I was so, I was so thankful to hear last Sunday's message, and then to have a continuation of it for this Sunday. I'm thinking, wow, I can't do any cartwheels, but if I could have done one down the aisle, I probably would have done that, because I was so happy to hear the teaching, in this area. Mm-hmm. And so, this is the time that we're living in.
Yeah. What was you thinking, Tara, when he was like, we're gonna talk about the mark of the beast?
Like I was like on the same boat as Elder Tracy, because last week he did mention, Revelations and all that. And I was thinking last week, like, I wish he could do like a series or something, like teaching more on it, just because you hear, what it's all about, and rapture and everything like that, but it's like you want to dive into it more, and from a somebody that can actually teach it to you. So I was excited too to just get more info and more going into it more deeper, in this time. Yeah, like Elder Tracy said, especially with we'll probably get into it, but a vaccine that may be coming and things like that. So just yeah.
So let me just say this. shout out to Pastor Wade Abel Sr., our pastor at Deeper Life Gospel Center, for like keeping it real, keeping it 100. Everybody
Right.
always talk about I'm keeping it 100. Okay, well, Pastor Bill kept it 100 this week, and
Right.
and he's just trying to. Honestly, it's all out of love. He just loves us as the body of Christ, and as God's children. Our pastor loves us and he wants us to be ready. And I say it all the time. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
That's right now. Now that's the truth right there. That is the truth right there. You
And
know.
it applies really for real to this.
Right. That's
subject.
right. That's right. And that is the nail on the head right there. Because you can be getting ready for something and then miss out on the real thing. So just like you said, if you're already in Christ, you need to stay there and do whatever it is that you can do in order to continue to be a part of the body. Because there's so many distractions out there and everything like that. And life goes on. Even after what we're going through, life will go on because we have to be tested in what we've been through. So even just to see if any of this was real, some people that may not have been saved prior to the pandemic, may have gotten saved in it, but was it real? Was it real, or was it just out of fear, or was it out of some other type of area? And so after everything gets back to normal, because you know how that is when things get back to normal, then the truth comes out, and it lets us know whether you were really serious about your confession of faith or if it was all just an act.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it's like that whole stay ready so you don't have to get ready. If you're gonna be I'm getting ready, or I'll do it tomorrow.
Right.
That First Thessalonians chapter 5 that he was reading out of Sunday says that it says something about a thief in there in the night, and that's for you all that don't want to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I'm not gonna be caught off guard. We're not gonna be caught off guard because we already know it. We believe the Bible when we read it. You gotta believe the Bible. Y'all can be reading Revelations and then think, oh well,
Right.
that's just a story.
Just
It's
a
not
story,
just a
right?
story. It's a revelation. Do you know? I Google the word revelation. It's about the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah, and it really is the relationship, that we really have, with God. It kind of mimics our natural relationships with people because, we can read the Bible, we can pray and everything like that, and still our heart not be right. And that's one of the other things that he was talking about, as far as getting relationships right with people. And you have people, they go to church, they read their Bible, they pray and everything like that, but they cannot get along, with anybody. Can't get along in their relationship with anybody, with their spouse or with any family members. They're at odds, don't want to talk to them or even initiate any type of reconciliation or anything like that. So, we can do a lot of things to look like we are, men and women of God, but really, like I said, the heart is what God sees. So, we need to make it right, with people, and I understand. There's some people, even in my family, that don't choose to talk for whatever reason, even though I've even reached out to them, asking them, what happened. And, they just choose to not have a formal relationship. And, but that's up to them. You see what I'm saying? So my heart is clear with them. But as far as what's going on inside them, I don't know. But, like I said, we talked about the thief in the night as Jesus coming back. But the thing about it is there's other things out there besides the pandemic, or the virus. There's other things, we could die tomorrow. We don't know, but we have to be ready even in that, to be able to, live for eternity. So, I mean, it's a lot in there.
It is so much. And if you're watching this and you can get a chance to see the service Sunday, it is up on our YouTube channel, and also you can go to our website, www.dlgc.org, and click that Watch Live tab. And that particular message is available. And listen, we're not here. We didn't come to re-preach the message. We're just talking about it. But I definitely suggest that you go back and watch it, even if you watched it, or watch it again. Because it was a lot. That was kind of a lot to take in,
Right.
all in one service. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not something people like to talk about.
Right.
The whole, and he brought it out. He brought out I've heard all kinds of stuff all my life. I've heard about the 666, and you hear it like it's like something negative, but you never actually get like a full explanation. Like nobody ever says, well, this is the part in the Bible where it says something about that, and here is why. Or, like it's never actually explained. It's just like, oh, 666, and it's bad, and that's it.
All right.
But where's the explanation? And Pastor Bell really did some good explaining, and he, and like he said, he wasn't saying that the vaccine was a mark of anything, but he was just saying it's symbolism. A lot of it, if when you read the book of Revelations, you have to read it from the mindset of symbolism. God uses a lot of things as a symbol. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be exactly that, because like he said, like Pastor has said so many times, and the word says it, God's ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. So when you're reading the word, you can't read it and try to ingest it and take it in from your human understanding.
Well, that's where studying the Bible comes in, because you can read it, sure, but when you study it, I don't know about you, but when I study it, I have so many things on this table, so many Bibles, concordance. You got your dictionary, you have all of that. I mean, you begin with prayer so that the Holy Spirit can lead you, and that's how we hear from God, in our own personal time. And then it's confirmed through pastors. So, we have a responsibility in our own, relationship with God to make sure that this is why we're studying. So we'll know where God is, this is why a lot of times we push Christian ed, because what, it's a good source of learning the Bible and everything like that. And you could ask questions. And it's also a good source of going through the Bible in a year, which a lot of people, didn't realize. You're going to go from Genesis to Revelation in a year if you study that particular Bible study. So, like, he said, as far as the symbolism and everything like that. But I just know through the study that the Holy Spirit will bring it even more out, into your spirit about what he's talking about and what really to look for. And I'm glad you said that he didn't necessarily say that vaccine, entailed that, because certainly God could come another way. So that's why we need our relationship to be, so sound, as far as all of this is concerned. But I thank God that we're part of the body, and that we're friends of God. And he said, his friends, he tells his secrets too. So listen, he's going to always have a remnant, left. So that's a blessing.
Thank God. Thank God.
And just thinking about what you just said, Elder Tracy, just having that relationship, you can have that discernment, when something is not sitting well with your spirit, that's God telling you, don't go that route or avoid that or be cautious of that, in regards to, anything that's required of us or, mandated to take or do, things like that. So.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up that whole spirit of discernment. That is so important, and I also understand that sometimes it can be confusing. It's another one of those words that, like, if you don't take the time to try to understand what that word means for yourself, you will just hear it and not really take advantage of you actually having a strong spirit of discernment, and that and making sure that that's something that you continue to work at building your spirit of discernment, so you can know when God is moving in your life, and so you can know when God is speaking and when he's speaking to you.
Right, right. Because well, we have it all the time. Have you ever, get in your car about to go somewhere and said, well, maybe I shouldn't go there? Or have you ever
Yeah.
thought about somebody and they called you, or you thought about somebody and then you did call them and they said, man, I was just thinking about you, or maybe you should have called them, or you know, went to buy something and your spirit said, you know what, you really shouldn't buy that. And you didn't buy it. And then a couple of days later, you got an unexpected bill or something. So we have the spirit of discernment. We don't always pay attention to it because we shake it off and say, nah, that's okay. And then when we do it, after we learn it, we're like, oh my goodness. We say, I should have followed my first mind. That's what we say. Well, I should have listened, or whatever. And we didn't. And it's that same type of unction that God gives us in our spirit when stuff is about to happen, because how many people, have gone somewhere to a party or a place or something like that. And on their way, they had so many distractions from getting there. It was a traffic jam. They were rear-ended. I know God used to, kind of get my attention like that. Like, no, you can't go there, or whatever. And he would get my attention like that. And so he still does that. We
Yeah.
just have to pay more attention to, to his promptings.
So basically, are you saying that so when we receive the Holy Spirit, that spirit of discernment is a part of that? It's already there. We just gotta stop ignoring it.
That's right. That is right. You have to trust, that is in you, and you have to, like I said before, listen to it. Like I said, sometimes, you bump your head a couple times, after not really listening, and then after a while you say, well, no, I'm gonna listen this time. I'm not gonna do it this time. I'm gonna be obedient to the voice this time, or like I said, the nudging, or the unction or something like that. And I mean, it can come in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, for sure. Something else I wanted to talk about that Pastor Bill touched on that I feel like people take very lightly, and that is he said, right now in this particular season, all the time, but he brought it out for right now. And like watching, like being careful what you watch on TV, and like you can't take in everything, and you can't be sitting up for hours watching any old thing, because it's literally feeding you.
Right.
Like, and we don't realize that stuff is feed. Like I've been guilty of it. I done set up and binge watch the whole season or something on Netflix all at one time. That's like 8 hours.
Wow.
Like, that's a long time. Like, to sit up and watch a whole season of something that normally you would watch like once a week. It'll come on like one day, and then you wait till the next week. No, you go on Netflix and watch a whole season. And depending on what it is, it's like, what are you watching? What's feeding your spirit? And it's actually affecting you. Like, we really don't realize how much stuff affects us. Like, it affects what we believe. It affects our faith. Because you see stuff on TV, what you see displayed on TV is of the world. That's coming from the world's perspective, coming into your life, coming into your mind, and into your ears, and into your eyeballs. And I'm sorry, but I don't care how saved you are. If you watch enough of something long enough, you'll start thinking that stuff is okay. That's the problem.
Right.
Because you got comfortable seeing it.
Yeah, I think about like the news and like, social media. It shows everything now, like every negative thing that's going on. So it's like sometimes people find themselves desensitized to it. Like, oh, this person got killed, this person got in a car, just different stuff. And it's like, it almost feels normal because you ingesting it so much. And it's like, you kind of have to limit what you watch and what you read and what you look at, because it's a lot. If all this social media wasn't here, we probably wouldn't know half of it, what's going on. But since it
Mhm.
is here, you kind of have to limit yourself and step
Mhm.
back sometimes and turn off the TV, get off your phone, things like that. So,
Yeah, well, a lot of this is in moderation because,
mhm.
we have to know some of it.
Right.
But like even during this time, how people are, constantly watching CNN or just like you said, constantly on Facebook, hearing all of this stuff. And some people are terrified.
Yeah.
They are terrified about what's going on. And they haven't even moved. They haven't gone anywhere. They haven't done anything. And you definitely don't want to get to the point to where you're so terrified that you don't do anything. You don't you don't ever leave your home. You don't ever, or even where I work. We have these people that show up with all this stuff on. They got their gloves on, they got the mask on, they got the shield on, they got all of this stuff, and everything like that. They don't want to sit down in the chairs. They don't want to stand. It's just like, what? Why even come out if this is how you're going to,
Right.
be? Whatever we do, it has to be by faith. Especially if you know that it's not something that you're going to do that's any wrongdoing or something like that, that you're just taking your time out to take care of your body or an appointment or different things like that. Certainly be careful, but don't be so afraid that you I mean they scare me because they have all this stuff on.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know, you
And just
know
so you all know that are watching, Elder Tracy does work at the hospital. So she sees a lot of stuff that we don't see
Mhm.
all the time. She sees a lot of stuff that's going on during this, especially during this time, that we know nothing about.
And
And
I just want to, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to make it clear, because going back to watching the television and their broadcasts and how it is at the hospital, okay, so the truth is, it's really not like that. It's not like that. It's just fine. Everything is fine. It's not like it's a bunch of people laying around in the hallways and, that everybody has COVID and different things like that. I mean, it's contained, and if you are in a room like that, of course, you know ahead of time. So you know what to put on and how to dress and everything. But it's not like a battlefield like they want to make you think it's just, oh my God, we got all these COVID patients all over it's not like that. And I'm telling you, if you listen to the news and all of the reports like that, you will think that I can't go down there because I'm going to get it because all of these COVID patients are all over. It's not like that. So, like I said, that's part of wisdom as well, and everything. Like I said, I'm not saying don't protect yourself. I'm not saying we don't have COVID patients, but they're not all over the place. They really not, you know. So that's kind of a false, sense of fear that the media is, portraying everything to be. And so, but like I said, when we do, have them, we take the necessary precautions that we need in order to do that. And we just have a really good staff. Like I said, I can't thank the team enough for being careful of each other and watchful of each other and mindful of each other, during this time and everything like that. But it's not like that.
well, that's good to know. So,
Mhm.
since we're on the subject, if you what are there any tips that you can give us regular folk that don't work at the hospital about like the mask and the hand washing and just any tips that you could give us just to make sure that we're doing this whole thing right,
Mhm. Mhm.
or are we doing it in vain? Like any like actual tips that you can give us?
Well, no, I mean, you certainly, you definitely really need a mask, because it's just like you said, or like they're saying, you're really protecting somebody from getting what you have, really, and so, and then there's people out there that may have the virus and know they got it, but yet they, decide that they still want to live their life. So you want to wear your mask, don't give anybody a problem with that. And also, if you wear, eyewear or something like that, you might want to cover your eyes if you're in a very populated area. If you don't have any regular glasses, you can always wear your sunglasses or something like that. Also, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily recommend a shield unless you're around a bunch of people that's going to be sneezing all over the place. So the only problem that we have mainly as a healthcare worker are the gloves. Now, once you put those gloves on and you touch one thing, you've already cross-contaminated them. Because if you open up a door, you have all the germs that was on that doorknob. Now, unless you're going to change them right there, everything else you touch after that is contaminated.
Wow.
So you don't want to wear those. The best thing to do is to use your hand sanitizer until you can get to some soap and water. That's the way that it really is supposed to be done. So, that's the only thing I have a problem with. And I know there's different types of masks. Of course, the hospital requires the hospital mask, but anything to cover your nose and mouth, until you can get, somewhere where, it's comfortable in your car or home or something like that. But like I said, unless you're around somebody that's really sneezing and, coughing and not covering their mouth and everything, then I would say, especially at the gas station, you want to, wear gloves to pump your gas and anything that you have to touch a surface with. But then immediately just toss them out. Don't even take them into your car.
Okay. So basically, you should keep some disposable gloves in your car, and if you do have to pump your gas, put them on. You pump your gas, throw them out, and go about your day. Okay, but don't keep the gloves on.
No.
Keep going.
Right. Yeah, because you're going to touch your steering wheel and you're going to touch your phone. Everybody got their phone in their hand. So that's probably the most contaminated surface. You would wipe that off every day.
Y'all, clean these phones. Like when you squirt the hand when you squirt the hand sanitizer in your hand,
right,
squirt some on your phone and just give your phone some love. Let that marinate on there.
Yeah.
Right.
Because phones was nasty before COVID-19.
Right.
So imagine now, like we all got these phones in our hands all the time. We like to, when we come in our house, and of course we wash our hands. I have a little spray bottle with alcohol in it.
Right.
And it's like a mist spray, so it sprays out in a mist. I spray the keys down. I kind of like shake them around in my hand and spray them. I take my phone and I spray it and just kind of let it sit and marinate. I sprayed it. I even spray. That's another thing I was gonna ask you. So I was thinking about when you wash your hands. So like most people have a regular thing where they wash their hands. The little faucet thing turns on and off or twist. I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm like, am I overthinking this? But if I come in the house and I know I go straight to the sink, I gotta touch the thing to get the water on. So after I wash my hands and everything, I get that little spray bottle and then I sanitize where I touch to turn the water on. Like, is that doing too much, or like, should I be doing that?
Well, when the thing about it is once you turn on the water, then you rinse your hands first before you touch the soap, right?
Yeah.
That's okay. So then after that you get your towel and you wipe your hands.
Right.
Okay, and so you just use that towel. That's just how we're taught at the hospital, to turn off the faucet.
Oh.
Because you're throwing that out anyway. So
see, I got a towel that I use, like a kitchen towel that's specifically for drying hands.
Right. So what you're going to do is you're not going to use that anymore. You're going to just get a dispenser where you can put some paper towel on.
So you saying I should use this paper towel, that way I can just do that, turn the faucet off, throw it away.
Right. Anything that's disposable, throw it out. And because unless you're gonna wash that towel again, because then it's got the germs or contaminants on it and everything like that. So it's just best to use the paper towel dispenser, whatever you can get to put it on.
So are you saying that when we wash our hands and like before we dry our hands, technically your hands ain't clean till you actually dry them off?
That's right.
Oh wow!
Right.
Because can't the wetness just pick up every
Yep.
like if they
Yep.
still wet, just pick up more germs.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, I mean, we talk about that at work all the time because our hands are so dry. The
Mm.
doctor, I went to the doctor and she wasn't even thinking about what I came for. She just thought my hands were so messed up. And I'm like, what? Because I wash them all the time, so she gave me a whole bag of lotions, free lotion. I'm like, well, okay, fine, but that's not what really okay. But I'm washing my hands and the soap there, is not the best, but when you do it all the time, you can tell. So, it's best to keep your own toiletries, your own lotions and different things like that, and not share them because that's also another form of contaminant where, you're passing on, your toiletries.
Bottle and
Yeah.
yeah,
hmm
so
Yeah.
much to think about.
Yeah. Think about, but yet not be fearful. And I think that's what this whole conversation, is about because we, as long as we know that our consciences are clear with God, we know that we're ready to go on with him when he comes. And so, unlike, like I said, the religious activity that just makes us look like we're saved, but really have a heart, for the God that we serve. We're not afraid because we knew as Christians we didn't come here to stay anyway. We're just passing through,
True.
just passing along.
We just visiting y'all
Right.
in this world. Hey, how
Right.
y'all doing? It's like you in your car and we just waving. Hey, all right, we'll see y'all or not.
Right.
Hopefully. This is why y'all gotta listen. Stay ready, so you ain't gotta get ready. We want to see you on the other side.
Right.
We want. I mean, and you know what? Pastor brought up Noah again in his boat,
Right.
and he also said that God always gives us warning.
Right.
There's always some type of warning. You just gotta pay attention.
Right.
It's your spirit of discernment again. You gotta pay
Mhm.
attention, and as a Christian, your relationship with God causes you to, it's like you got insider info, you know?
Mhm.
And there's warnings happening all around, and you got to pay attention because Pastor was like, he was like, I'm sure when God told Noah, yeah, it's gonna rain, so you
Mhm.
need to make this boat.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
And I'm sure Noah didn't just be like, I ain't gonna tell nobody. I'm gonna just make
Mhm.
this boat and y'all do whatever y'all gonna do. He had to have said something like, hey guys, it's gonna rain eventually. I'm not saying when it's gonna rain, but
Right.
it's going to rain, and so I'm gonna build this boat.
Mhm.
He built. I'm sure he didn't just build it for his family. I mean, I feel like he built it for whoever
Right. Mhm.
to get on it.
Mhm.
Like, but
Mhm.
can you believe like only his family got on it? All those people in the world.
Right. Well,
But in
because
his
it.
in his
Yeah.
particular area,
Mhm.
people he could talk to and see that he was doing this. I'm sure the word spread though. Y'all know how the word spread. This man
Yeah.
building a boat. He said it's gonna rain.
Right, right. Uh-huh. I mean, but when you think about how big the boat was, first of all, and then the thing about it is the people had never seen rain. They didn't know what it was. Just like, we say that Jesus is coming back, but we've been saying it for a long time. That don't mean he ain't coming. And so not only that, he built that boat for 120 years. So God even extended the time. This is what he's doing right now. See, we don't know after COVID how long it's going to take. This could be a trial run to the tribulation period where this is how it's going to be, but it's going to be even worse because you're not they're not taking any coins or anything, like no money, but after a while you ain't gonna be able to buy or sell unless you take that mark. So this
Yep.
could be God showing us, well, this is how it's going to be, but just think like a million times worse in the future. But Noah probably looked like a madman, but God tells us a lot of things that we tell other people and they look at us like we're crazy. But we know God said it. And
Yep.
then, when it comes to pass, then they're like, oh, I guess you do know it. I guess you do hear from God. You do know what you was talking about and everything. But people have to see it first. They don't have the faith that we have that don't have to see it first.
Yeah, and it's like that even sometimes in our own lives, you know, and we all still got some growing to do
That's
in
true.
those particular areas in our lives
Right.
that sometimes we just need to see a little something. Like,
Mm.
God, could you just show me like one little, just
Mhm.
look, I'm
More
not gonna
evidence.
try you, God. I'm not coming for you. I just want you
Right.
to, can I just get this a little? And sometimes he let you get it, and sometimes he be like, no,
Mhm.
you said
Yeah.
you trust me, so
That's what he said.
you get
That's what
this
he
sitting
said.
way.
That's right. But the
Mhm.
more and more you grow in the relationship with him, the more he's faithful, and he's a God that will do what he said he's going to do. And like I said, that's why a lot of times maybe we run our mouth a little bit too much, where we tell people what God is going to do before he actually does it. And then they're the voices that really talk us out of the promise.
Mhm.
So we have to be careful about that.
Mm,
Mhm.
our own
I was
voice.
just thinking when you said that, like people try and, give you doubt and, deter
Hmm.
you from what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
real good friends will do it to you.
Mhm.
They will, and so like I said, it's our own fault because we don't shut up. But like I said, to get back to Noah, like I said, that's a long time to have waited, for rain. And like I said, he probably looked crazy. They probably say, there's a crazy man over here building a boat. Don't even worry about him because, he talking about rain. And what is that anyway? Because we ain't never seen it. So, we
Mhm.
can just, continue to live our life. And that's what we don't want to do in this season, is just go on about our life thinking that, what, it's not going to be over. It is, because Jesus said he was coming back, so we don't want to get lax. That was what, another thing that pastor was talking about, just going about living our life, and carefree,
Mm-hmm.
put everything on the back burner as far as God is concerned. And then all of a sudden he show up and we done, got out
Yeah.
of the line, or something, so to
I
speak.
mean, listen, them people back then, when Noah was building the boat, they was going about regular life,
Hmm.
like he didn't say nothing, like he didn't say, "Hey, it's gonna rain." They like, "What's that?" And
Right.
I don't know what that is. So I'm gonna go on back to what I
Mhm.
was doing, eating,
Mhm.
drinking, getting married, having babies,
Right.
doing all just regular normal people stuff.
Right.
I mean, 120 years, y'all. 120 years. And yes, they ain't never seen rain, but we ain't never seen this COVID neither. So,
Well, hey, there you go, right there, sister. And that's the truth right there, because, I mean, we don't know whether or not we're going to be here once, Jesus comes back as a rapture. We don't know. We
mhm,
could go by the grave. We don't know. But the thing about it is, it's just like, we were just saying, either way, be ready to go either way. But like you said, you keep telling your family members to get saved, to accept Christ as your savior, to give their life over to the Lord, and everything like that, that this is the life to live. And they keep, just dragging their feet,
mhm,
and everything like that. I know we have to continue to pray, for them, that they will come over before it's too late. But that's all
yeah,
you can do. That's all you can do, is just tell them.
Mhm.
yeah. And you know what? If you're watching this and you're like, well, how do I get saved? And, this sounds interesting. This sounds like something I want to be a part of, or I'm ready to change my life. Or, you
Mhm.
know what? In this COVID season, I've realized that it's time to do something different. Listen, we try a lot of stuff. We try all
Mhm.
kinds of stuff. Why don't you try this? What people
Mhm.
say, try God. They seen that on the t-shirt. Try
Mhm.
God. Well, I mean, hey, what else you doing right now? Some of y'all
Right.
just at the house. Some of y'all ain't even going to work right now. So it's
Right.
a good time to bust that Bible out and be like, you
Mhm.
know what? Let me look at this that my mama, my auntie, my grandma, my
Right.
friends been
That's
been
right.
talking to me about for 5, 10 years. I've been hearing people talk about this Jesus, this God, this
Mhm.
Jesus coming back and going to heaven and hell and all these things. It's a good time to like
Mhm.
dive on in there. and start reading your word. And listen, I just want y'all to know that if you go on our YouTube channel, and it's just Deeper Life Gospel Center on YouTube, real easy. Pastor Bill, at the end of his message, he said a prayer, and it was technically a prayer of salvation.
Right.
He didn't say that's what it was, but that's what it was. He's giving you an opportunity to come into the body of Christ, you know, to be saved, to guarantee where you're gonna go when you die. I mean, because we're all going to die, but
that's the truth right there.
giving you that opportunity to make a decision today.
Right.
So after you watch this, go to our YouTube channel, or you can go to dlgc.org, click watch live, and watch that message, but don't click off of the video until you get to where he prayed. Okay? And he's gonna have you repeat some things, and I'm telling you, your life is gonna be changed. And I know that sounds probably too simple and too easy to work, but it works. So and hey, what you got to lose? Try it.
Ain't that
Just
something? That's right. That's right.
God,
You're telling the truth.
Listen, Elder Tracy, we just want to say thank you for being on another episode of Let's Talk Tuesday, and thank you for the tips as far as the mask and the gloves and the hand washing. You all are getting it right from somebody who knows what they're talking about. Worked at the hospital, she gave us some really good tips. Take heed to the tips. Stop wearing them gloves, touching everything, and then touching everything else.
I know that's the truth. I know that's the truth.
Y'all wearing them out. Take your gloves off. Just keep your hands off your face. You will be all right till you get to the
Well, that's
my goodness. Like,
that's so true.
Who else got to tell you?
You told the truth.
But anyway, listen. We got interactive Bible study coming up this Thursday with Pastor Bill. We will keep you posted on that. And just so you all know, we are having a few issues with our church's Facebook page, but you can always go and follow our pastor, Pastor Wade Bill Sr. on Facebook. That's his Facebook name. And we'll probably air everything over there for now. So if normally you watch this on our YouTube channel, you can still watch it there. But as far as Facebook, we'll probably be on our pastor's Facebook page, and that is Pastor Wade Bell Sr. Okay? So, yeah, I think that's it. Make sure you like and follow us on Instagram and subscribe on YouTube. Don't just watch the video on YouTube. Make sure y'all subscribe. All right? And, yeah, all right. Well, we'll see y'all next week.
All right.
Let's Talk
Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.